Hello, it's Sunday morning, and I got woke up this morning by what sounded like somebody knocking on my door. But I don't really mind because it was 5:30 in the morning, and that's a good time for me to wake up. Anyways, I appear to be starving, but I have my usual not particularly interested in eating anything sort of attitude. Um, let's see. Let's get to the corona nonsense. One more case in the county. Within 3 days. Uh, there's a kid that went to the high school that I went to um, that's quarantined from coming in contact with somebody that had the virus, and they're going to keep schools open for the time being in Stark County. Um, the guy who's got the case of it is actually staying in the hospital, which was the first hospital I ever stayed in, Timken Mercy, in Canton, Ohio. I'm planning on moving to North Canton because North Canton is a separate city than Canton. And so I would have to pass through Canton, Ohio. Um, I'm trying to point out to people that, you know, not a death sentence if you're healthy, not necessarily a death sentence if you're sick. Uh, if you're by sick, I mean if you already have compromised health. You just have to be more careful if you have compromised health. 5,000 dead, 80,000 recovered, so it's not a death sentence. And you have to remember that out of the 5,000 dead, you have to factor in the elderly and the people with pre-existing conditions. Now, somebody in my family that would definitely not want to catch the coronavirus or COVID-19 is my nephew, who has, well, it's gotten a lot better, but he used to have severe asthma. He's been hospitalized, I don't know, maybe 20 times for it. I don't know, a lot of times. But since it's a respiratory infection and he's got, or he used to have bad asthma, I think the last time I talked to him, he said he doesn't, it's gotten much better. But yeah, definitely a high risk type person that doesn't want to get it. But I can understand like shutting down the NBA. They've got two cases in the NBA. I don't know if you followed the Rudy Gobert thing, but in a sick way, it's kind of funny because he said he wasn't feeling well, and I'm sure you've seen this, but they have a press conference with this NBA basketball player, and he's deliberately touching things while he's got the virus because he doesn't know he has the coronavirus. He just knows he doesn't feel good, and he knows that the coronavirus is a thing. So he's just like deliberately rubbing his hands all over the microphones at this press conference, and all over like reporters, recording devices and stuff like that. Then I would guess he went in the locker room and started messing around with players' items, you know, in a teasing kind of way. And so another player from the team caught it, and I don't know what the guy's name was. I think I don't know. I don't know what the guy's name was, but the other guy that caught it is like a star. And if I was the guy, I'd have a lot of hate for that idiot. But all the sports things that I watched were like, he's a nice guy, which is their way of saying, don't take him out and lynch him. He's just an idiot who acted like a fool, you know. But really, come on now. You got like a worldwide thing going on, possibly deadly, and you're playing games like, deliberately going in, you're messing with your teammates' item and touching on them. And Lord knows what else he was doing with them. But I mean, there is video of him at the press conference rubbing his hands all over all the microphones. And then going in the locker room, of course, they didn't have cameras in the locker room, but all the players said he was like teasing them. like messing with their stuff, and then somebody else got sick on the team, and so now we have no NBA. And the NBA, I don't follow the NBA much anymore, but I guess the Lakers were very good. So LeBron is very old, and so this would have been probably a LeBron championship year. Um, I think his main competition was Kawhi Leonard and the Clippers. I don't know. I don't really follow basketball anymore because I can't get it on the computer. They act like it's gold. I mean, even old games you can't get on the computer. And I don't have TV or satellite anymore. So, anyways, so in my county, we've got 2 cases. Uh, in my in my state, we got 7, and a week ago we had none. So we're kind of like at the stage where it could blow up, it could not blow up, you know. Um, anyways, so yesterday I just finished my 3-hour project, and I'm just downloading it right now. So I'll put that up. It'll take a while, but I'll put that up today. The bad part is like I rushed the first part of it, so the first part of it is not as good as the second or third part. But once you get into it, it's good. But I mean, as far as the read, I rushed it because I was going to give it to. That's the whole point that I did it, was like, this guy's real friendly, and I don't know. People say things, but he's like, we have a lot in common, and he'd be like, like I would come over and play guitars with you, and like he's like, I'd help you move, like put stuff in my car. I understand that people say things, and I of course have trust issues due to betrayals and due to being raised around shady, dangerous people. So I don't know, but I thought it'd be a nice gesture to like say, like, I'm shit on guitar. This is what I can really do, or what I used to be able to do anyway. So the first hour of it isn't horrible, but it's not up to the second and third parts of it. But be warned, it's violent, it's graphic, it's disturbing. Uh, like the third part of it has a very you'd be scratching your head over that, but it's the third part of a 4-part book, so you would understand it completely. This guy's nightmare if uh, you heard the whole book. But yeah, it's frustrating trying to record in a non-soundproof area, because this guy was riding a motorcycle. It was like 45, 50 degrees out, and this guy's riding a motorcycle up and down the street. So I'm reading, and I have to stop reading. And then, I hear noise upstairs, I have to stop. And then, like, I screw up all the time, so I have to stop. So it just takes forever to get done. And like I've explained before, this part of the microphone is hot, and this part of the microphone doesn't record anything, so I can get away with a lot of things, but it still picks up a lot of things. So you can even like faintly hear a dog barking in the background on part 1. But I just thought I'd warn anybody that was going to get into or maybe listen to that it's not for the squeamish. It's I don't. It's not like watching a movie as far as gore, but it's pretty intense. Um, so it doesn't matter to me. I mean, that's not why I did it anyways. And if I wanted to be popular, I would put more effort into this instead of just sitting on here and talking. Or if I wanted to have enough of a following to have commercials. I mean, I just watched a video of a guy listening to Led Zeppelin songs that had like 15,000 views on it. It's a guy listening to music, so I don't really care. I don't, it doesn't make any sense to me, so whatever. I don't feel particularly lively, but it's always good to get outside. So I think I'll get outside and walk. I did have one minor, like, my heart went out of rhythm. I took a pretty long walk inside the house yesterday. And by long, I mean like 30 to 40 minutes long. And I laid down, and my heart did a little diddly bop there for a while, where I have to sit there and scratch my head and be wondering, like, hospital or no hospital. And then I just try to calm myself down. It went back in rhythm, and then I took a blood pressure pill, and I skipped my blood thinner yesterday, but that helped me remember it, because I'm starting on a new bottle, and the bottle's not here with me. It's in the cupboard. So I went and got that. And yeah, it's kind of worrisome. It's like this part of the microphone is supposed to be hot, but you have to have like a balance between cranking it up so it picks up, so it's more sensitive, and keeping it at a low enough level that it's not picking up all the ambient noises. It'll pick up my stomach gurgling, and I don't know if it just did that or not. Sometimes it'll pick up my stomach making noises. Sometimes it won't. But I went back and I was like, wait a minute, let me replay that part with the, maybe it's not picking up that road noise outside. And I stopped it and I replayed it, and I'm like, yep, yeah, it's picking it up. So the next couple times there was a road noise, I just stopped it. But anyways, so that's done. That was a lot of work. I didn't get too crazy with the pictures, except for at the end. It's like, I just put up like pictures over top. It's a book, for God's sakes. You're supposed to make your own pictures, but just for something to put up. I found a nice horrific picture for the nightmare sequence, and I only got a little bit carried away on the very last. I don't make chapters. The, the the last episodic part. I never believed in chapters. I like the way it's constructed, and I think it's pretty cool, and I think it was what I was put on earth to do. Unfortunately, since I have about 3 teeth left, the problem is, like, I have trouble talking and speaking as well as I used to, because I have half my bottom teeth missing. There's a good example. Missing. And my tongue is used to being held in check by these teeth over here that are gone. So when I say certain things, it doesn't quite work because my tongue strays too far. It's used to being held in check by a complete row of bottom teeth. So, that's a problem. Besides the fact that it makes it difficult to eat, and it doesn't give me the best smile in the world. Partial plates are uncomfortable. At least at first. I don't know if I can get used to them or not, but I'm not concentrating on anything but getting out of here. It's like my excuse for not going to the doctor on, I think April 3rd is my 3-month checkup, and I never thought I'd say this sentence. People keep bothering me for my shit. Okay, I got that shit in a box thing you see on TV. Don't let them fool you. That is not a simple process. Okay, let me walk you through that quickly. Now, my brother loves to talk about shit. I hate to talk about shit. So, he will describe the consistency and color of his dog's bowel movements. But anyways, the colon guard or whatever box in the mail commercials that you see if you still have a TV and cable or satellite. I opened it up and I read the directions and I was going to do it, but I'm like, okay, this is too complicated. It's too gross. I don't like it. I don't want to do it. And if I get colon cancer, I'm going to kill myself anyway. So, but people keep bothering me about this. My doctors have called me and left messages. I get messages from the company on the phone. I get letters from the company. I got like one letter I haven't opened, but it's like it sounds like they're offering some kind of like incentive for me to give them my shit. So my shit is suddenly valuable. Um, I don't know. It's over there. I just haven't opened it up because, like I said, I read the instructions. I'm like, you haven't got to be kidding me. First of all, you have to go to the bathroom a certain amount that has to be small enough for this liquid preservative things to cover it. That's bad enough. But you have to actually take a swab and poke your own crap and do a separate swab with it. And it's like, I ain't doing that. Man, fuck that. I ain't doing none of that. Once I found out it was that complicated that I have to like uh, evacuate a certain amount, play in it more or less, poke around in it, and with a swabby type of thing, and then like pour in a preservative liquid, seal it back up. It does have a number you'll call where they'll send a FedEx driver out and he'll pick it up. So I don't. The transportation thing's really not the issue. The fact is like I just don't want to do it. It's like if it was like dropping a deuce into a bucket and sealing it up, that's one thing. But it's a little like garbage pail looking thing. But yeah, it's sitting right over there. Opened a little kit and I read the instructions to it. Point being is like I got the perfect excuse now because the coronavirus has hit there and I've got compromised health and I'll be like, look, and I'm under self quarantine, so I'm not going to the doctor. But really, it's just I'm concentrating on getting out of here and hopefully this guy won't cancel his appointment for like the third time in a row and he isn't one of them germ freaks that are freaked out when really he's healthy as a bull. I'm the guy that should be worried. He's the guy that's got contact with uh, hundreds of people. I mean, I don't know if he goes to school or not. He talks about doing graduate work, but I'm not exactly sure if that involves going to a school or not, or what's going on in his life, or how his life has been disrupted by the coronavirus, or I'm getting canceled on because, like, he's like, I'm not doing anything I don't have to do, and because people are pretty freaked out about this uh, thing, because the main reason they're freaked out about it is we don't know about it. We don't know enough about it. We know that 80,000 people have recovered from it with no treatment attacking the disease directly. So, it ain't Captain Trips from the stand. We know that. It's not a death sentence. We know that most of the people that died from it already had compromised health and or were elderly. So, that doesn't mean anybody wants to get sick or anybody wants to get really sick and hospitalized and stuff. It's just the most alarming thing about it is how fast it seems to be spreading. I mean, I don't know. I haven't checked, but it hasn't been more than 2 months, and there's 180,000 plus cases worldwide. So, yeah, that's scary. But, anyways, if this guy cancels on me a third time, I don't know what I'm going to do. That's coming up on Tuesday. He cancels a third time in a row. I might ask him tomorrow. I mean, like, what's up? How do you feel about the coronavirus? You know, are you in contact with a lot of people? Uh, what's the deal? Why couldn't it have stayed out of my county for just give me another couple weeks here, okay? Because I'm taking the first chance I get to get the hell out of here. Um, but anyways, emotionally, I'm all right. Not too up, not too down. There's annoying birds chirping outside my window, which means the sun is getting ready to rise, and means I should get off here. But yeah, I never thought I would say that sentence, man. There's just a bunch of people bothering me for my shit. A bunch of turd burglars out there. I mean, I don't understand this. Yeah, but I ain't doing that. I'll just tell them, like, look, I don't want to do that. I'm not going to tell them, like, look, you don't ever want to use the S word in front of medical people. I'm like, I got enough problems. If I get like colon cancer, do you think I'm actually going to go through the trouble of fighting cancer if I get cancer? When I've had CRPS for going on 33 years and I can't walk right and I got all these other problems. Uh, and I got a history of AFib arrhythmia. I'm going to fight. Fuck you. That's not happening. You know, I'm checking out, man. Fuck that. Uh, that's just being honest. And yeah, so there's a good morning for you if you're on the same time zone with me and you're watching this in the morning. But yeah, um, but later on, like I said, I'm I'm glad I got to finish that yesterday, even though it was difficult with all the noise and without the teeth. I never thought that would be that huge of a problem. You don't think about these things until they happen. You never miss your teeth until the gums run dry. But yeah, it's like I said, it's like interferes with my speech because my tongue is used to being held in check by those teeth that are missing. So part of what I read, it's really cringy to me to listen to. But of course, you're always going to be more critical of yourself, and plus, I know the story inside and out. So you know, it's not. I try to be as emotionally involved in it as possible, and that's another thing about it. But I didn't do a horrible job on it, and it's well crafted and worth listening to. I think if you can tolerate uh, a fair amount of unpleasantness and violence, or if you like that sort of thing, you know. I mean, I handle it well. I'm not like morbid about it. It's just like I read up on the cultures involved, and let's just say they have a different attitude about life than we do. Uh, and I tried to like when I wrote it, I tried to like remove all modernisms from it. Like I don't use years and minutes and things that obviously the Blackfoot tribe would not be using. So instead of years, they would say winters. Sometimes I use summers, and instead of minutes, they would say moments. Just trying to remove it from, uh, trying to like put the reader back in that headspace. You're gonna take them out of that headspace if you start using words like, "Hey, that was cool." It's like I'm pretty sure that was an expression among the Blackfeet tribe in the 1850s, or units of measurements like he threw it 15 yards. Like, so I did enough research into it. Like they would say buffalo arrows. It's like so many arrows away, or a buffalo arrow away. Winners for years. My favorite one of all time, that is a Blackfeetism or Blackfootism. There's a Blackfoot Blackfeet thing that you know it's not a plural singular thing. It's just like you can it's you can use either or for the tribe. But anyways, for illegitimate children, so-called illegitimate children or children born out of wedlock, they had the best expression ever for that: under the blanket children. So I got a chance to weave that in there, and then I read a lot of books, of course, and a, a lot of times people don't weave this into the story. They like hit you over the head with it, or they explain it to you, or they like I just weaved it into the story. So it's just like it's subtle. Um, Later on in the book, which isn't part of what I'm going to put up, this guy is not sure that this kid is his son, which so he says, he yells at him and says, "Go back under the blanket you crawled out of," which he thinks he's uh, somebody else's kid. Under the blanket, children. Go back under the blanket you crawled out of. Plus, it has a double meaning, which I'm not going to give away. But, anyways. So it's a 4-part book. It has an epilogue and a prologue. Not necessarily in that order. And this would be the second longest part to the book. And it's 3 hours. The longest part to the book is probably 5 hours. So all told, it's probably 10 or 11 hour audio book if I wanted to sit and actually stumble through it and work on it. I don't know how long that would take me. I've done it before, but that was before the incubus bought this building and I lost all my teeth and I went through the benzo thing and the living hell it has been my life for the last 5 years. So I don't know if I would be up to that undertaking, but I'm just trying to be very focused, like I said, on getting out of here. And I will take the first place we go to that is suitable, because you don't really know what kind of landlord you're getting. You don't really know what kind of neighbors you're getting until you're already in a situation, so you can only go by the actual facility itself. So if the facility has good soundproofing, it'd be nice if it was far away from the road and it had like a setup where like you have to drive on a road to get to a main road, so there isn't a whole bunch of traffic going by all the time. But the main thing is, as I said in the last time you saw me, if you watched the last thing, bunkered, quiet apartment, own entrance and exit, so I can control who I interact with and who I don't interact with. I can do some steps, and it's got to, of course, allow pets, because my sister decided to stick me with that cat. So, anyways, yeah. So, yeah, if you want to listen to part of that book and see what I'm actually good at, it ain't reading, it's writing. Arithmetic, horrible at that. But geez, man, it's 27 minutes. Are you kidding me? I think maybe if somebody was pointing a gun at my head, I could do a short video. Maybe. I think whenever I did okay, it's downloaded now. That was the noise that transferring the program from Mubavi to my computer. They call it exporting, and then now I can download it on YouTube, which will take another hour to 2 hours. So, anyways, what was I saying? Oh yeah, I did a couple of short videos by accident, but they were purely by accident. And yeah, I'll talk to you tomorrow. And I wish you a good day and good fortune, and no contact with any nasty invisible beasties. Goodbye.